to the Hour of Bliss. I want to introduce myself first of all, since not all of you may know me. My name is Chris Covey, and I wanted to say just a bit before we get started about why we call this format the Hour of Bliss. It's actually a name that came from one of our longtime participants during one of Masami's small group health intuitive reading sessions. And it was to describe the energy that comes up when we all come together like this, where we deeply listen to each other, hold the sacred space, and also have the opportunity to learn from each other's journeys. So today we have that opportunity again to both learn from each other and also to participate in healing collectively as we come together like this. So I'll say a few words in introduction, and I just want to make sure that everyone knows that even if your question is not directly answered today, you'll still gain some insights from everyone who speaks. And if you really open up to them, you'll hear something in your own experience as well. So just a bit about us. Masami and I are both guides at the intersections of wellness, health, and spirituality. And we teach people how to come back to their bodies, come home to their bodies, and live spiritual lives with their feet firmly on the ground. So most of you probably already know Masami from her many appearances as a faculty member on the Shift Network, the Beyond the Ordinary Show, the Elevated Existence Summit, the Quantum Home Sanctuary Summit, and a whole lot of other appearances that she's been on over the last couple of years on Health and Energy Summits, podcasts, and other programs. As a health intuitive, a functional nutritional therapist, and an internationally recognized speaker, Masami reveals the root causes of imbalance using intuitive insights, whole person approach, and laser pointed guidance. She has the ability to translate, our subtle body language and provide practical tools, nutrient recommendations, breath work, and more. Masami was born and raised in Japan in a bicultural family, and she draws extensively from her blend of East meets West culture, language, and energy medicine, as well as years of professional training and experience in functional nutritional therapy, yoga therapy, positive neuroplasticity, Ayurveda, and applied linguistics. So before we get any further along, I just wanted to make sure that you all know we're going to be taking questions from the raised hands only today. Not in the chat, not in the Q&A. That might be a little bit different from what you're used to, but we're just going to do that to keep it a little bit more intimate as a group today. So raise your hands if you have questions. We'll get to as many as we can over this hour. And if you're not sure where your hand raise button is, it should be at the bottom, generally, of your screen of your Zoom controls. And you can just toggle that on and off yourself. Any questions that you have that relate to body, mind, spirit, and the connection between them are welcome. One thing that we would ask is that you don't ask questions that we call crystal ball questions. And so that would be things like, can you please just scan me? Or can you please just read me? And here's why. We want you to make sure that you've actually sat with your question mindfully. It's something that you've tuned into and held, so that when Masami tunes into you as you're holding your question, she's getting the clearest signal that you and your body are sending. So in this case, the quality of your question that you're holding really does matter. So that's all I've got to say to get us started. I'm going to go ahead and welcome Masami. So welcome, Masami, and I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you, Chris, for that beautiful introduction, and welcome everyone. As many of you are coming in slowly but surely, welcome on wherever you are on this Saturday morning for us, and some of you is Saturday evening, maybe some of you already into the Sunday. So let's take a little time and reconnect with our bodies. We're heading towards the first quarter moon, and so it's when the moon begins to shine, half of it light and half of it's still dark. And this is not the moon journey call. For some of you that have asked me this is not the part of the moon journey that some of you are participating in. This is a totally separate thing, but it's good to reconnect and to be in rhythm with the moon journey, right? So let's close our eyes if that feels comfortable, and maybe you want to roll your shoulders a little bit. Move your hips a little bit, settle in, wiggle your toes, feet, and if feels comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. And noticing your breaths. Just noticing, you're not trying to change anything, just noticing, wow, today I am able to take deep breaths, or maybe you're mainly taking the breaths in the front. Maybe you need to take more to the back of your body. Whatever this may be for you right now, notice the breaths, because your breathing patterns will reflect where you're at today in this moment. The first quarter moon is really important for assessing where you're at, because we're straddling the darkness and the light. Assessing how far you've come in your life, as well as maybe just in the recent week or two. And assessing things that still require your attention. Maybe there are some things that you've been meaning to attend to, but you haven't got around to it. And also assessing what is coming and what is reaching for you from the future self. It's a lovely balancing time. And now assessing the upper body, lower body connection. Many of us are separated at different junctions of our bodies. One very common one that I see is right at the neck, that your head is thinking and doing its own things. And in the neck down, you might feel disconnected from what the mind is trying to do. Another areas of disconnect that I see is right at the waist, your hips, upper body, and the lower body. Another disconnect I see is, and the divide, I would say, is the frontal body and the back body. So when you take a breath, see if you could feel that you're breathing into the back side as well. Your lungs are not just located in the front. In fact, more of your lungs are located towards the back of your body. So see if you could feel the back side of you. And see if you could feel your right side of your body, left side of the body. How are they matching up? How are they communicating with one another? Assessment, that's what we're doing right now. And go ahead and wiggle your toes again, move your fingers. Rub your palms together. Ignite that prana between your palms and clap, clap, clap. You can open your eyes slowly. If you want to blow the prana into the palms, you can. And then place your hands where you feel maybe you need the prana the most today. Maybe it's your heart center. Maybe you're dealing with the thyroid issues. So you need to place your hands to your fifth chakra. And you may want to go from the back and the front. Maybe you're having a little bit of headache this morning. Maybe placing your hands right where you're feeling that buzz or tension, tug, or lack of awareness. That means you need that prana to bring back the awareness. Okay. And then relaxing your hands to your thighs. Feel your thighs. Your thighs are pressing up against your hands. And then let go. Good. All right. Thank you, everyone, for grounding and connecting. And some of us sometimes need to ground less also. But this is the assessment time, right? And for those of you that are in the moon journey, you will be navigating this throughout, and you'll learn a lot of different tools. How do I assess continuously? Because assessment isn't just once a month, right? You're assessing yourself continuously coming home to this body. Okay, so Chris, I think we're ready to have people raise hands. We're going to ask that you do not ask questions on the chat or the Q&A. If you Q&A parts that you can write to, I would ask that if you have questions, please raise your hands, because it's just two of us trying to navigate this. When I'm tuning into, I cannot be reading chats, and I also can't be reading the written languages to assess. Okay, I'm using the word assess again, but it really is hard for me to switch. So if you have questions, please raise your hands, and Chris is going to put you in the panelist now.
Okay, so I am going to first of all invite Betty to come on as a.
Are there other
I'm going to bring in some others, and we'll go ahead and get started.
Could you put them all up at all?
Yep.
Because I would like to choose the person, if you don't mind.
Okay, so I'm going to be.
I want to tune into that person and choose them. Yeah.
Okay, so everyone will be bringing you in if you have your hand up. Just takes a moment for the system to bring you into the panel.
So Betty, we'll be starting with you. So if you can, I'm going to ask you to unmute, and if you could put your video up, I would appreciate that. And if you just cannot, I do understand it as well, but I would prefer that I can have a mirror neurons kick in for me.
I'm so sorry. Hi, thanks for the call. Yeah, I just put something on my face.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard to get on there today, right now.
All right, Betty, where are you calling in from?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, I hope it's springy there, because we're not here. So
yeah, but we're cold today.
Is it?
Today, yeah.
We're gonna have snow again here. So this is. I'm
Where are you at again?
I'm in Colorado, and I'm wearing like a winter sweater today.
I see that.
Yeah, I'm like cold. So, all right. Well, Betty, let's get you started. So, are you familiar with my work? I've never seen you before, so I think you're kind of new to my work.
First time.
Yeah. Yes. So, well, welcome. And where did you hear about me?
On somebody's show. What's her name? Dr. Christine, maybe? Is that the last one you were on? I think.
I will be on soon.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's probably Helena. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
ahead.
Helena. Yeah.
So go ahead and start. But the quality of your questions really matter. So really go into that. Yeah. So go ahead. I'm going to write down your question so that I'm following what you're asking me. So what's your question?
It's about my body. I've been going through a lot of changes. I've been suffering with allergies, sinus, congestion, eye issues, and that's on my right side. Excuse me.
Okay. And how old are you, Betty?
55.
Okay. All right. Location. Okay. Yeah. So, where I get the most, yes, it's the small intestine. So this is where we have to really clean up your diet and lower your stress level. So how's your stress level, first of all? How has it been, I guess? It's more like the last 2 years is what we're looking at, though.
Right. It was stressful, but I think I'm starting to feel a little better. But yeah, something is weird with my head. When I lay down to sleep, it's like winds in my head. I can't really go to sleep.
Wind, you said?
Yeah, it feels weird in my head, from my ears to my head.
Mhm.
it feels like stuff is going up there.
So I'm going to come back down to your diet again, okay? Because the allergies, congestions, all the changes that are happening, we have to address your diet. So are you gluten-free and dairy-free?
Just about, yeah.
So completely gluten-free. Are you eating a lot of corn and soy
No.
products? No,
No.
gluten-free crackers and almonds and nuts and seeds, all that?
I had some almonds, but it's been months.
Okay, so you're not eating almonds, no almond flours, no soy flour, no corn flour.
No.
Okay, so what do you eat?
Rice.
What's your breakfast? Yeah.
Eggs sometimes. I've been taking, sometimes it depends. Sometimes I have a protein shake. So
Okay.
I take
Eggs and what else?
maybe a bagel here and there, croissant here and there.
Okay, so hold on a sec. Babe. You said you're eating croissants and bagels.
Yes, not all the time.
Okay, but you know that those are gluten, right? They're
We
flour.
try to get gluten free.
They're okay. So, but then have you looked at the ingredients on those items? So croissants, where do you get your croissants from?
At a restaurant, French restaurant.
Okay, so that's a gluten-based product. That's a wheat-based croissants, correct? So what I'm saying,
I don't
Betty,
know. Probably.
okay, so Betty, I need you to clean up your diet, okay? Which means you gotta go really careful because the allergies, seasonal allergies, sinus allergies, pollen allergies. I'm not getting yes on mold or fungal stuff in your house or anything like that, okay? But
Okay.
you have to clean up your diet. Croissants are not made out of gluten-free flour,
Okay.
okay?
Mhm.
You got to go 100% gluten-free because you're just that phlegm is basically your body way of saying we are allergic to things she's eating and we're going to create mucus in us so that we will protect our basically membrane in our lungs. It's trying to protect itself. So it's going to continue to make that phlegm. Yeah. So you've got to remove dairy. So do you eat cheese?
No, I haven't really been eating cheese for months now. I had I had COVID last August, and I just stay away from a lot of stuff.
Okay, yogurt.
No.
Okay, no milk.
Almond milk.
Okay. So yeah, let's just clean out your diet. So first of all, no more croissants. Okay.
Okay.
No more of those bagel things, even they're maybe gluten-free. I don't exactly know. Because I get yes on you eating gluten. Okay.
Okay.
So you've got to clean up. Okay. You can't do that and hope to God that your allergies will go away. Okay. And those buzzing feelings too is your body way of saying she is doing things that is not supportive to us, meaning us as in the collective of the whole body. Okay. So let's start there, because if we don't start there, the mucus is going to continue to get produced. And you just get this phlegmy things constantly. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So no more croissants at the restaurants. Okay. You got to find out what the heck is in that ingredients wise. And the croissants have a lot of butter that they put in, right? Nothing's wrong with butter. I love butter, but maybe you don't do that well with dairy whatsoever, even butter dairy. Okay. I usually put butter in a different category than the normal dairy, but you really have to clean up and making sure that the no dairy is coming into your diet and gluten's coming into your diet for a while. Okay. So could you work on that and really, really clean up? Okay. And know exactly what you're eating and focus a little bit more towards lean and, nothing's wrong with eating fats, but really good protein, grass-fed, wild-caught salmon, that kind of a protein base, and then clean up your diet from these sneaky things that are coming in. Can you do that?
Yeah. How about olive oil and coconut oil?
Yeah, I get yes on those two for you. Yeah.
No, don't
Definitely.
eat them.
No, eat them. I get a
Oh.
yes, meaning good to eat. Yeah. And then also ghee is going to be good for you too, if you can make your own ghee. Okay.
What is that? I don't even know
Ghee
what
is
that
a
is.
clarified butter.
Oh, that's what we have in our fridge. My daughter just bought that. She's been going through awakening and she's just been on green stuff and organic stuff. So we just bought that. Okay.
Great. So cleaning up your diet means listen to your daughter. She has gotten a good idea that we all need to be eating organic, correct?
Mhm. Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah. So eat 100% organic, really clean it up. Try to avoid eating restaurant foods for a while, like a month or so if you can.
Okay.
All right. Because they cook things with a very toxic ingredients. And I just really don't want you to be eating that kind of thing that will
Yeah.
constantly create
God.
inflammation in you.
It's
Okay.
it's funny you say that because last Saturday I went out with them. We ate at this Korean restaurant, and from that point I've been sick from that point.
Yeah. Restaurant foods are not jiving with you at all right now. You're in this like a sensitive place. And that's why I asked you, how's your stress level? And I'm glad that your stress level is less. But when you've been through pretty stressful times, it takes a while for your gut lining to heal. Okay. So you have to give yourself some time, treat your body like it's a sacred temple, which it really is. Okay. And don't eat restaurant foods for a while. Okay. And make yourself some like soups, since it's a little colder there where you're at today, maybe make yourself nice bone broths with some good vegetables in there. Eat things like ghee, maybe, a little bit of olive oil drizzled over it. Things like that will be great for you. Okay. But let's start with the cleaning up your diet. All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. All right. So now I'm going to go to Yvette. I've asked you to unmute. Yes, you won the lottery, Yvette. Oh, no, I cannot hear you very well.
I have problems with my sound. I can write my question in the chat. No.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Yvette, let's do that for you. We'll have you put your
Yeah.
question in the Q&A and we'll answer it that way.
I'm sorry for my
Sounds good.
Sound.
So I will mute you, Yvette, right now so you can write it on the Q&A part. Okay. Okay, good. All right. So I'm going to go to ask to unmute Jacqueline. I think I'm saying it right. Please correct
Hi.
me. Hi, could you say your name again?
It's Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. Thank you.
Yeah.
You got to understand that English is my second language. I don't read people's names that well.
Mine too, so I understand.
Yes, Jacqueline, I'm ready for you.
So basically I had COVID 2 years ago, and ever since that had happened, my system is still trying to heal itself. And ever since that had happened, I cannot do the cold weather as well. Yeah, I used to love winter and I used to love the snow, but I'm currently in Atlanta and it's not as cold as, it would be in New York or whatnot. But my body just couldn't handle it like how it used to. And whenever I go outside and if it's too windy, it'd be a little bit hard for me to breathe. And then I would have pains in my muscles in my body. Yeah, so if you would help me with that would be great.
Long COVID doesn't impact everyone that has had the COVID, but seems like it's impacting, I would say, about 50% of the people that have had COVID. Yeah, for sure. And are you taking my moon journey at all by any chance?
I am.
Okay,
Yeah.
you are. So, we just went through the lung period, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it's a perfect question to be asking, isn't it? Because we are just starting to come out of it. So, I've provided some list of supplements that you definitely want to get going on. And for long COVID, it's the quercetin that is really, really good. Okay. So have you been doing quercetin?
On and off. Yeah.
So I want you to be on with it. Okay.
Okay.
But get the one that has bromelain in it, right?
Okay.
That ones that have the proteolytic enzymes in it. Okay. So that it can help to break down some of the scar tissues. Okay.
Okay.
So what you're describing is basically a small little paper cuts inside your lungs.
Yeah.
It feels like that, doesn't it? Even like it just has
Yeah.
this like a little irritations constantly, and they just can't quite heal. And I don't know, you remember Chris talked about it yesterday on the Q&A, but your large intestinal lining and your lungs lining are very similar with each other. So you're going to start to find yourself, these symptoms are not just about your lungs, but your, stools are going to change. Yeah, you're
Right.
shaking your head. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's definitely going to impact your poop, the quality of poop, that's because they're both struggling with each other. Right. And what I sense from you, Jacqueline, is that there's been a lot of sadness. And I'm not just talking
Yeah.
about the lungs, because lungs are grief and sadness. I'm talking,
Right.
I'm getting like buzzing all over my back right now as I say this. Yeah, this has been rough. This has been a tough journey for you. And it's not just 1, 2, 3, 4. I get 5 years back. It's been, way back. This isn't just about the COVID. And this is one of the reasons why you're experiencing the long COVID, when maybe, your friends got COVID, but they're not having this long COVID issue, is because the issues that you've been dealing with from 5 years ago. Oh, Jacqueline, I wish you lived right next door to me, because I'll be like, come on over for some herbal tea. I want to give you the longest hug that ever existed on this earth. That's what I would give you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, this has been rough. Okay, so hold on, Jacqueline, okay? You already know what to do in terms of supplements and things, because I have been giving you that. You are in the course, so you know what to do. But what I like to do, if all of us, okay, that are in this call right now, will you put one hand on your heart, everyone? And she's also having the partnership issue, which is her large intestine. Okay, so place your hand below the belly button. Okay, and just see if you could breathe in light for her. And Jacqueline, you just receive. Okay, you could put your hands there, but you just receive. And as you breathe out, everyone, see if you could breathe out some of the paper cuts and a little, like a glass shard like things. That's what I sense, is this like a thin glass shard. Shards are coming out of her. Almost like a fiberglass-ish. That's what's coming out of her. In with the light, healing that glass cuts and paper cuts she has inside. And breathe in the light. Breathe in the light, breathe out. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Wow, I love doing this with the group, because it's so powerful. You can feel the difference already happening. And Jacqueline, just notice your breaths, okay? Just breathe. Yeah. Good. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. How do you
Thank you.
feel? Yeah, how do you feel?
I feel better. Yeah. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Oh, so welcome. And, reach out to us through if you want to share some of it, please reach us. You can always email us too, mybreatheinc@gmail.com. You need to be witnessed for what you've been through. You need to be heard and you need to be witnessed. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's not just COVID.
Right.
And you couldn't get through COVID. I mean, you got through it, but because you have a residual, it's because you were already struggling and suffering from the paper cuts and the glass shards in your lungs.
Right.
Yeah. Be gentle. Be gentle with yourself. You're a strong cookie and you do hard work and you always show up for everybody 100%. But be gentle. All right.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Namaste. Let's take a breath, everyone. Yeah. So
So
I
Ms. Covey,
see. Yeah.
can we go back to Yvette? She was able to
Yeah.
put the question that she had into the chat,
Great.
and she wanted to know about some sensations she's been having in her lower right abdomen, a sporadic feeling.
We kind of know that, don't we, Chris, what that means already? I get yes on
We
you,
were just
Chris.
talking about how prevalent this is becoming. Yeah.
Yeah, this morning, Yvette, I think this was for you. We were having a conversation over our morning coffee. Can you believe it? This is the nerdy part of Chris and me, but it's that region that you're talking about. It's called the ileocecal valve. Okay, ileocecal valve, ICV. And let me just tune in and see if I could give you this. Yeah, I get a strong yes on this. I'm going to give you, it's not a solution, okay? But it's a way to cool down the spastic feelings, the reactions you're having in there, okay? What you do is you get yourself a cold, but it's not, I would call it cool, let's say. It's not a freezer cold, but it's a refrigerator cold, like a ketchup bottle, or hopefully it's organic, okay? Not sweetened by corn syrup, okay? Or you can use things like a water bottle, although, you know, I do not want you to be drinking water out of a plastic bottle. So it goes into another level, but something cool, okay, out of a refrigerator that is a size of like a large size ketchup bottle. For those of you that live in North America, we know what large size Costco size ketchup looks like. For those of you that live outside of this area, it will be a smaller bottle, but what you're looking for is something like that, okay? And then you place it right where, and I'm going to indicate exactly where to place it, okay? Between the belly button. So Yvette, I want you to put your one finger on your belly button, okay? Finger on the belly button. The other one is your hip bone. This is my right hip bone. My finger goes right into my belly button. And then I'm going to grab a pen so you can see it very well here. Okay. Oh, that color isn't going to show. Can you see that? The pen I'm holding? Okay. So I'm drawing like a diagonal line from my hip bone to the belly button. It's right halfway between point. That's where your ICV is. Okay. If you push it in, it doesn't feel good. Okay. So I'm coming down so I can see, is that correct? Doesn't feel great, does it? That right in that spot. Okay. Yeah. So that is the spot that I want you to place a ketchup bottle, water bottle, or something cool of that size. Okay. When you get that sensations. And basically maybe lie in bed with your knees bent and, you know, maybe listen to a really cool podcast or listen to one of our Monday calls. Okay. And just place it there for at minimum of 20 minutes. What it does is that helps the flow of the bacteria in that region to move in the right direction. Okay. Because what you're having is so-called the backup of the sewage backup. So the bacteria is backing up into the small intestine. We need that to go to the right direction. So when you place that cool pack on it, it directs the bacteria to move in the right direction. It's a clinical pearl. You're not going to find this anywhere in the Google, probably even. Okay. But it's a clinical pearl that has worked for me and my clients, and it helps with the people that get weird symptoms, headaches to pain in shoulder blades and, you know, achiness. It's very, very helpful to do that. Okay. So give me a thumbs up if you got what I was saying. Okay. Because Yvette, I can see you. Is she there? Is she hearing me? Okay.
2 thumbs up.
She got the 2 thumbs up. Okay, good. And you've got to watch your consumption of certain foods, girl. Things like almonds and nuts and seeds. I need you to stop. Yeah, I know. For those of you that cannot see her expressions, she got this mouth. Her mouth just went wide open. oh my gosh. And she just kind of zipped her mouth back. Yeah, because I could see what you're eating. That right hand keeps going into the jar of the nuts. Yes, I live with you, Yvette. I see you. Okay. So yeah, she's laughing. She's good to go. So I need you to take a break from the nuts and seeds. All right. Okay. You got it. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Stay tuned. I'm glad we could get to you. All right. All right. Okay. I see you. You've been waving at me forever. Asked on mute, the winter solstice ceremony person. I have asked unmute. You got unmute.
Is it me?
Yes, it is, because you've been waving at me the whole time. So
Yes,
what is your name? I do not get your name because it just says the winter solstice ceremony.
Oh, okay. My name's Takako. I am Japanese.
Hi, Takako-san. No, you got to remove that. The winter solstice has ended. Last I
right.
checked.
Yes, well, thank you so much.
はい、どういたしまして、日本語の方がいいなら日本語でもいいんですけども、まあ、どちらでも。うん。私は熊本出身です。高子さんは
新潟です。
新潟。あ、そう、もう全く逆反対なんで。うん。
ですよ。はいはい。
はい。Well, we'll have to probably switch to English. Otherwise, they will have to learn Japanese first in order to do this. So, okay.
So I'm so glad that you picked me because yeah.
Yes, I saw you. I saw you. Yep.
Thank you. Okay, so since I was a child, I had ear infection and mouth problem and nose problem. Even though I have been taken care of so well, but mouth, teeth, and nose I cannot smell since I was a little girl, and then ears, I lost one ear hearing. And so even though, I've been taking care of my teeth so well, but losing teeth and also the bone, my bone, I have osteoporosis. And my doctor said I needed to do aggressive treatment. That is hormone injection every single day for 2 years. And so I started since mid-February, every single day to poke myself. It's scary. And, but I had to do it because I don't want to break my hip.
Yes. Okay.
So with this medication, and also when I inject, I pray for all my body cells to work together with this medicine. And those who developed this medicine to appreciate, thank you very much, and the cooperation with this, my body to become my bones getting stronger. And so with so I do lots of, listen to lots of summits, and I found you there, and I thought, you are the one. Yay!
Well, I don't know, I'm the one, but you sure are the one to fix this, what's going on, because you can heal yourself. Okay. But
the last thing is, so I cannot listen to my body. It seems my body and my brain are not connecting.
Yeah. So when I started the meditation with the disconnect, you can really feel, can't you? That when I said there's a disconnect. Yeah. So, Takako-san, okay. So there are multiple things that are happening. Okay. And this is for everyone to really, really take in, because I think Takako-san is teaching us, we need to really take care of ourselves from the beginning. Okay. By the time, and then I want to find out what you do for your teeth, because I got a really not a good yes on it. Okay. I know. So I want to know, but before I go into that, by the time things are starting to happen in your oral, okay, your teeth and your bones, your body's been malnourished for a long time. Okay. That's what you want to understand, because it's kind of the last place that the body's looking for nutrients and vitamins and minerals. They're like sucking things out of you. Okay. So, number one, that means you've been malnourished for a long time. And one of the reasons why it's showing up on your ear, nose, throat is because you've lacked certain kinds of minerals in your body, particularly zinc.
Zinc.
Yes, when you're low on zinc, and this isn't just about 80%, I would say, but the clinically speaking, I see with the 90% of people I work with are low on zinc. Okay. But right now, a lot of studies are coming out that anywhere from 65 to 80% of the world population are getting lower and lower on zinc because we're not getting zinc from our soil. Okay. Magnesium isn't in the soil either. Okay. So you've got to start giving yourself minerals back into your body, and zinc helps with absorption of your foods. But this is particularly, I want to go into your genetic makeup also, being Japanese also. Japanese have always had, tendency to have little less bone density. We all have smaller bones, Japanese have smaller bones. So number one, we can't go by the Western measurements either, because Western measurements of the bone densities are based on bigger people. Okay. Like a Viking people. We're not, even though I'm half Viking, I got the Japanese side. I'm like 5'2" or not even. Okay. I'm about 100 pounds. So I'm a tiny person. So if the doctor looks at my bone density, will probably say, you got such a low bone density, you need to start taking this and this and that. Okay. But I don't listen to that because that is not the measurement that I need to go by. That's number one. So I need you to get the fear out of your system. Otherwise, your body's going to continuously go into the acidic part. When your body is in fear and in danger and in the stress mode, your body will go into the acidic mode. Acidity will break down your teeth and your bones. Okay. So number one, it's okay. I'm not saying don't go see a doctor, don't get your testing done. But I think there's a little bit of discernment you need to practice and say, one of the reasons why you feel like you can't listen to your body is that you feel like there's a disconnect with what they're saying and what they're making you do, the medical system, and what you feel like it's comfortable and right for you. There's a disconnect. So you start to say, well, am I just not listening to myself? Am I just not able to hear myself? Or am I just listening to this too much? And you just start to get polarized inside you. Yeah. Like you're living in a polarized society, it's like a black and white duality. Okay. So number one, stop the fear. You're going to be okay. Okay. But today I need to hear about what you do for your oral health. What kind of toothpaste do you use? What do you do for your mouth?
Okay. So, okay. I had, even though I brush my teeth every day, really carefully.
But what's the toothpaste you're using?
This is from essential oil, doTERRA essential oil. So like a really on guard toothpaste. So I'm really getting to essential oils from doTERRA and lots of minerals and
Yeah. So does that have like a lot of peppermint, spearmint, tea tree oil? Any of that is in there?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes, menthol and yes, lots of
Okay.
white orangin.
All right. So I need you to stop using that. I know.
Really?
I know. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. I'm going to have you stop using that because it's literally just stripping your teeth. Okay. I know it's essential oil. Yeah, those are good stuff, but you might just use it like twice per month. I get yes on twice per month. Okay. Other than that, you need to start feeding your mouth. You've been malnourished. Okay. Your ancestors have been malnourished too, by the way.
Yes, my mother had osteoporosis and she was like a 90-degree bend.
Yeah. Yep. You got it. You got it. I mean, your mother came in so strongly. I was going to talk to you about your mom and your ancestors, but your Japanese side of ancestors have had tremendous stressful things they had to go through physically.
Really?
Starvation as well. Yeah.
Oh, Mamma Mia.
Yes, Mamma Mia is correct. Okay. So I need you to feed your mouth with a better toothpaste. And what I'm going to recommend you get more probiotics-based toothpaste. You can read up on it if you go to masamicovey.com, go to resources page, go to recommended products. scroll down to the personal care products, you will find this toothpaste, Revitin, okay? It comes in white box with the little orangey things on it. It's probiotics, prebiotics, has CoQ10 in it, vitamin D in it, vitamin E in it. It's literally feed your mouth with food.
Oh, Mamma Mia.
So stop stripping your teeth. Does that make sense? It's too much of a good thing. Yeah.
Yes, because I feel like my enamels are really eroding more than
Yes.
before.
You got it. You got it. I did that for years. I thought, oh, essential oil's got to be better than a Crest or, Colgate. So I started using nothing but essential oil mixture. I was even making my own. I was getting this and that, like beautiful mixture, this and that. My teeth just started to deteriorate like crazy until I started using the food that will feed your mouth. So you've got to start feeding your mouth. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Then start taking zinc. Okay. 20, 30, 40, 50. Yeah, I get up to 50 milligrams of zinc per day for you. So what you do is maybe take 15, milligrams at lunch, maybe mid-afternoon, take another with a little bit of food, and then take another one at the evening or so. Okay.
Oh my.
All right.
And-
You gotta start feeding you.
And even though I don't eat any junk food and, I eat lots of good food. But
Okay, but the lots of good foods can mean just a bunch of raw vegetables and rice, and that's not a good food. You need to be eating protein. Otherwise, how is your body going to start to rebuild itself?
yeah, I lost lots of weight and I had hyperthyroidism.
Okay, well, so, Takako-san, I think you're one of those people that really need to work with me on a one-on-one level, because so that otherwise you and I could sit here and then have Japanese tea and have a little mochi on the side and enjoy each other's company for the next 3 hours, but we can't do that. So get started with the zinc, stop the toothpaste. That's where I got yes from. You may not even recognize it, but you are carrying a lot of the ancestral, not like I wouldn't use it like emotional trauma side, but it's more of a physical trauma. Okay. They were malnourished for centuries.
Really?
That's where you come from. So you got to nourish you. Otherwise, you didn't come into this world with, I worked this one client yesterday, and I looked at her and I said, man, you were given such a great genes. And you were like, you come from like a background that's like a workhorse, like you can keep living this way for a while and you'll be good to go. And she's almost 70 years old and she's starting to have issues, but she wasn't having any issues till recently. But in your case, Takako-san, you don't have that luxury. Okay. All right. You come from the background of people who did not get plenty of protein in their diets.
I see.
They didn't get plenty of minerals in their diets. My grandmother was totally folded like this also, past the 90-degree level. Yeah. Right. And she was, I think by the time she passed, I think she was only about 65 pounds.
Like my mother.
Yes. So let's take care of our ancestors by you changing your toothpaste first. Start giving yourself zinc. Begin to eat a little bit of protein. Okay, make yourself some miso soup.
Miso soup. I am eating lots of protein. Good,
But you're not digesting. So I know Chris will say, why didn't you say about the betaine hydrochloric acid? Have you ever heard me talk about betaine hydrochloric acid?
Not digesting?
You're not digesting. If you're digesting, you wouldn't have all these problems.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
my.
You're not digesting, and you haven't been digesting for probably, I was going to say centuries, but decades.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't been digesting for decades.
Oh, that's why I don't gain weight?
Yes, you don't gain weight. You begin to lose your bones. You begin to have, all kinds of glands are giving up. Yeah, because you're at the point, Takako-san, you are catabolic state, what we call it, the catabolic state, meaning you are eating away at you.
Oh, my gosh.
To live on this earth, and we don't want that.
I see.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yes. Wow. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
どうもありがとうございました。
まさみさん、ありがとうございました。どうもどうも。
いや、またお話ししましょう。そしたら。
わかりました。じゃあ、コンタクトしますね。
はい、どうぞよろしくお願いします。
ございました、まさみさん。はいはい。はい。
All right. Love that energy. Okay, Takako-san, you can do this. Everyone, send her love. She can do this. She can digest her protein better. Yes, I'm with you. Okay. I know small people like us, we really need to feed ourselves regularly and help out. Okay. Because I can't catabolize myself for a long time. It's a tough one. Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask to unmute Tanya.
And while while you're unmuting, I'm just going to jump in and mention I put a comment on the chat that had to do with that biological toothpaste that we have listed on our website. And I gave a direct link to where you can order it. It's a fantastic one. It's one that we personally use as well, and we have for years. And we'll talk later if we're going to put up a supplement link if we want to do that today. But
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, you could get good supplements through Fullscript. So you could put it in a chat if you
I'll
want
put
to.
this in the
sign
chat.
up.
If anyone's interested in using our practitioner account, you can sign up and register through Fullscript, and you'll get 10% off of practitioner grade supplements right away. So I'll put that in there for anyone who's interested. And if you need guidance, I recommend that you contact us to set up a private session.
And I am slowing down on taking new clients starting in June. So, Takako-san, when you purchase the session, just purchase it and I'll see that you purchased it. I will email you directly to set up the time because my May is booked up and I'm taking time off from June on for 7 months, actually. So I won't be seeing new clients for a while. So, okay. All right. I think, you'll be good. You'll be all right. All right, Tanya, did you unmute yourself? Oh, wait. Hold on a second. You may have to do it again.
Mute.
There you go.
Okay.
I hear you now. Beautiful.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for choosing me, Masami.
Oh, you're welcome.
I first seen you, I think, on a Shift webinar. I think more than a year ago, and so I've been following you. And so my question is about 5 years ago, I was bitten with something like spider, and I had like severe reaction, and like almost like I had palpitation. My joints on the left leg were swollen, and I, of course, I did Borrelia test because Belgium is very well known for the ticks, the Lyme disease tick.
Lyme disease, yes.
Yeah, so I was diagnosed with Lyme disease, but they said it's old Lyme. It is nothing new. You must have conceived it when you were a child. But the new whatever bit me, I don't know what it was, caused me inflammation that I started having like arthritis. And so they did 3D scan for my left knee, and they said that my cartilage is slightly deteriorated. And since then, I have like on and off, either my hip is hurting or my knee is hurting. And now after having COVID a few weeks ago, I have my ribs hurting also on my left side. It's like between my ribs bones, like just maybe from coughing. I have no idea. But
okay, so always... did you say you had COVID as well?
Yeah, I had COVID like 3 weeks ago. Yes, so I'm still a little bit kind of not congested, but recovering.
Mm-hmm. But the spider bites and the Lyme that has not impacted you, right? You haven't had like any rashes from the same spot that you had the spider bites or anything like that. That has moved on, correct?
Well, they said I didn't see my doctor. He was away for a week. I didn't see my doctor immediately, but they said that because I didn't have bull's eye, that it wasn't like tick bite. Yeah, Lyme.
Okay.
But they found Lyme anyway in my blood test because they said I must have had it since I was a child. I could have had it since I was a child, but it was never bothering me.
Yeah.
But now,
So main question today, because it just seems like there's a lot going on. What is your main kind of a
my
concern
main
today?
question, I have constant like inflammation and pain in my left side joints, on my left side of my body, the same side I was beaten, and it's mostly my left knee, my left hip.
Okay. So that's like arthritis kind of things that you're concerned about the most, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I mean, it seems like, I mean, you are, you became hyper sensitive possibly, but it's just your body kind of got flipped, with all kinds of different experiences. I don't necessarily tie the spider bites and then Lyme to the arthritis, to be honest with you. I don't see the connection there, because I think you resolved it. I think you're fine from that, to be honest. And to know that anyone that has ever spent time in the woods, northern woods or anything, we've all been bit by Lyme carrying ticks. Okay. So studies are starting to come out that most of us have some form of Lyme conditions in us. It's just a lot of us are able to keep it balanced. Okay. So I don't think that's tied in together, but the arthritis, autoimmune conditions, it could be something that you're inflaming yourself inside your body. You could be attacking yourself. I think there's a definite emotional component to this as well with you in your case. Yeah. And I'm wondering if I should go through that first. Yeah, I will talk about that first, and then I'll just give you a quick, rundown on what you can do. But there's rage inside you.
Rage. Like anger.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somewhere inside that I kind of work on all my emotions, but maybe I didn't work completely everything out.
Oh, we can never completely work everything out. So give up that notion that you will ever get to the point that goes, hey, I worked on it. Check. A lot of people say that. It's like, I worked on my emotions, my grief and it's like, you know what? We carry generations and generations of our emotions. So it's like an onion, never ending story, but the rage and anger. And I'm talking about anger, but more of a rage. I
am Ukrainian originally.
Say it again.
I'm Ukrainian originally, so at the moment, yeah, I'm trying not to get involved in the war and stuff in Ukraine, but I get involved anyway because I get call from my friends and family, and also probably in my family I have also problems. So I think it's all together. Probably, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I'm really, it's like. It's tough. I don't shy away from news. So I'm paying attention to the news every day of what's going on. And I can imagine a little bit, but I cannot imagine what it is to be there right now, to have family members, friends there. This is a lot that is going on. So I want you to, again, it's what I said to Jacqueline, right? It's like, please be gentle, number one. Okay. And yes, do address your rage, but start with just your immediate anger to start with, just in the last year, 6 months. Okay. And you just slowly kind of work on it. You don't even have to go into it so much deeper. Just go, oh yeah. I remember I was so angry. And even, how you describe the spider bites and the Lyme and so on and so forth. It's been agitating and frustrating for you to try to figure out why I am feeling like this. No one can help me. No one can figure out. That can turn into anger. Okay.
Yes, because the doctor didn't help me. I had to find all by myself, Googling stuff, anti-inflammatory stuff and stuff that I never knew about because I wanted to get rid. I couldn't walk properly.
Right.
That's why I was angry. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And feeling of loneliness. And I have to figure this out all by myself. Nobody's out there to help me. Everything has to be held by me. Well, you know what? No wonder your joints will start to hurt because you've been carrying all these heavy bags going, I got to figure this out myself. I got to figure this out by myself. It's like, imagine sometimes I see mothers who have young child and they're just gone to the grocery store. They have bags of groceries and they're trying to open the car key or car door, even though some of them have that, I mean, most of us have the automatic car door opening, right? I know, sweetie. I know. Yeah, I see you. I see you. She's trying to open the door with the right hand, but carrying the child and the grocery bags on top of it. It's kind of, that's how I feel when I look at you. It's like there's so much weight, and you have to take care of this life, take care of this beauty, and still have to go grocery shopping, still have to do this, and still have to open the door too. It's a lot. Okay. And that's when a lot of times these arthritis will show up and they just don't go away. They just get worse because you're having to navigate your life with your fist intact like this. Soften it up. Okay. Number one. And number one thing that I love when I do these calls, because everybody brings something that it's a theme, right? And the first caller, Betty, brought us to something very important for us. I'm grateful for Betty for bringing this topic up, is that you've got to be very careful about what you eat. Okay. When you begin to have arthritis, autoimmune situations in your body, that you're internally turning your anger inward. That's what you're doing.
Okay.
You have turned the anger inside. That's when you have to eat better. More than ever. You cannot be eating breads. You cannot be eating pastas. You can't, and you really got, I get complete, like, yes, meaning that's not a good food, is the nightshades.
Nightshades, yeah, that I know.
Yeah,
I don't.
remove the nightshades, but you've got to go gluten-free 100%.
Okay.
Give it a try for 3 weeks and see how your hand begins to relax, your left hand. Okay. All right. Give that a try, please. Yeah.
Yes.
And don't work on your anger too quickly, but that there's a difference between the word anger and rage.
It's because I am not conflicting person, so I don't bring it out on people. I probably just keep it inside, and then when I notice like that I'm completely like boiling, I go for a walk in the woods, or I do meditation, or I do relaxation, and I kind of think, okay, I worked on it, but it's probably sitting deep inside me, and I understand what you mean.
Eating away at you. So find ways to inside out. Okay. That doesn't mean you find a person that you could go punch. Okay. But maybe you can punch a pillow instead, right? Using just your right hand so you don't hurt your left. Okay. But you've got to start to say, what does this mean? What does the anger look like? Maybe for you, it's colors. Colors might be helpful for you. Using red, deep purple, whatever color that it expresses your anger and rage. Will you do that?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, good. And clean up your diet. No more gluten.
No more gluten. So is it only gluten that is not good for me?
Yeah, right now I'd like for you to let's just start slowly so that it doesn't overwhelm you. If I tell you move this, move that, everything else, and you will feel like you have nothing else you can eat. Okay. But let's start with breads, pastas, anything that has wheat products based in it. Okay. Even though, you live in Europe, they don't use the wheat products that we are consuming in the United States. It's still very inflammatory for someone like you. Okay.
They do use glyphosides, I believe.
Yeah, we use glyphosides. You don't. But that alone isn't going to solve it. Okay. So let's clean up. Let's see what you can do about the rage side. And you got really angry when you're about 2 years old, and also when you're about 4. There were some major events in your life, 2 years old and 4 years old, that you were so angry at the world. You were angry at your mama too, but you were angry.
My mama, I was angry with my mama most of my childhood, I think. But I thought I worked it out, to be honest, again.
Yeah, but welcome to the club of Never Ending Story. I love singing that song. I don't know if you've seen that movie, from the 80s. Never Ending Story. It'll end at some point, I suppose, but it's okay. It's okay. Be kind. Be kind. It's not like you need to peel everything. You don't need to dump all your garbage out and sort it out. Just one item at a time. Okay.
Okay.
All right, sweetie.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I
Yes.
do appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
So,
Namaste.
namaste. You're so welcome. Okay, I'm going to go to one more person. And sorry, it's over the time, everyone. I'm going to ask to unmute Melanie. Has the love sign in the back, so I couldn't resist.
Hi.
Hi, Melanie. What can I do for you?
So I have been having a lot of gut issue and I'm very thirsty all the time.
Mm.
A lot of discomfort in my digestion and feels just stuck.
Mm-hmm. Discomfort is in like gas, distension, bloating, pain, punching pain, all that kind of stuff.
All of
The above. Yeah. Okay. Well, aren't we all lucky that Betty went on the call first, huh? And Yvette, I told her stop the nuts and seeds, right? So you've got to stop the nuts and seeds, girl. Were you on the call from the beginning?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you can listen back and say, okay, these are the things I really need to be watching out for. Please stop the nuts and seeds business, everyone. Maybe one of these is I will speak up more in a bigger audience and say, stop the nonsense of the eating bunch of nuts and seeds. But humans have never eaten this many nuts and seeds in our lives. And they just scrape and scrape and scrape. And all the bars these days, you buy one of those bars in the store, they all have almonds in it. They all have nuts and seeds in it. They have some kind of quinoa in it. And, they have, because that's a seed, right? They have hemp seeds in there, chia seeds in there. None of these have been soaked. So your body just can't digest it. Okay.
So no hemp, no chia.
Unless you soak them. Do you soak them? No.
Oh,
Do you know how many people soak them? Probably 2 people, my husband, Chris, and me.
Wow.
We soak them and we dump the water. So it's
quinoa, no quinoa.
Quinoa, you better, if you're going to eat it, you better soak it.
Wow. Okay.
Oh yeah. We soak it for at least 6 hours.
Wow.
Before we cook it. And we dump the water too. We dump the water and, bubbly stuff comes up. We dump it out. And then sometimes if you're cooking quinoa and I didn't have the chance to soak it for 6 hours, let's say I only soaked it for like 2 hours, I will cook it and halfway through it, I dump the water. And then I start over with a brand new water so that the quinoa isn't agitating to who we are in our bodies. So yeah, diet has a lot to do with you. And
I mostly live on this food that you're saying.
I figured, I know I didn't just say those things. I just say things because I'm just in you. I'm in your kitchen with you. As I'm talking to you, I'm going through your cupboards and I'm like, bunch of quinoas here, bunch of almonds in your hemp seeds and chia seeds. Okay. So those are not for human consumptions in the quantity that we're doing. Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And one more thing I wanted to say about your thirst. Okay. Well, there are 2 components to this in your case, because when you eat a lot of nuts and seeds or like dry things too, like the bars or like a quinoa that hasn't been soaked in things, they require a little more fluids in your body to digest because they have to like a reconstitute, I remember when I used to eat a lot of dry fruits, which kicked my butt big time, but dry fruits that come into like bars and things too, like Lara bars. Do not eat Lara bars. Okay, please.
Get out of my cupboards.
I am in your cupboards. I know it. Those things. And I even actually knew Lara because she was Denver-based person. Nothing's wrong with Lara bars unless you start to have gut issues, then you better be stopping that stuff. So I think partially your body is dehydrated because you're eating these kind of foods that haven't been soaked to give the fluids. Okay, that's one, right? Number 2, you're missing electrolytes, right? So you've got to start adding back the liquid minerals, which is listed on our website, the resources page. You'll find the liquid minerals we use, but also you can use things like potassium powder. And I know Chris put the full script link. You can sign up. You get 10% off of all your supplements. That's practitioner grade. So it's a pharmaceutical grade, really high grade supplements. In that, it's called Potassium HP. That's the one that we use. Potassium HP. And it has a little magnesium with it. And so what we do is, I have a glass of water here, right? And this is about maybe 9 ounces or so, 8.5 ounces or so. So I put about 1/4 of a teaspoon to sometimes 1/2 a teaspoon of that powdered potassium in there. And I do this all throughout the day away from food. Okay. And you can't be drinking fluids when you're eating. That's going to cause your gut to bloat and impact your gut from not digesting. You shall, in Ayurveda, my teacher used to say, if you drink fluids while you're eating, that's the quickest way to the grave.
Wow.
Yeah. We do not drink any water when we eat dinner, lunch, breakfast, none of those. We do not drink any fluids.
Okay.
We chew so that the saliva can moisten the food. Foods have been soaked or cooked, or if it's raw vegetables, has a lot of fluids. So that's how we get the fluids during the meal time. And then we don't add more fluids because we need the digestive power, right? Otherwise, your third chakra is going to start to dwindle, and this is going to show up in your life. And you're going to start to have self-esteem issues. You're going to start to feel like, oh my God, I have all these things I want to share to the world, but I'm so anxious, I can't do it.
Yes.
Right.
Wow.
Got it, girl. You got it, girl. You're supposed to share your love with the world.
Wow.
But you haven't been able to do it because you've been dampening your third chakra and your digestive power, right? In your third chakra. That's your Agni, girl. This is where you ignite the 10,000 sun. 10,000 suns come in here from all planetary systems. And they say, let's ignite this girl so she can be out there sharing her gifts. But you can't if you just keep drinking water and eating almonds and handful of nuts and quinoas that haven't been soaked.
Gosh.
Right.
Wow.
Good luck to that, right? So you understand it now, right? That you got to take care of your digestion. Stop eating the way that is going to continue to lower who you are on this earth. Wow.
Thank you. So more vegetables.
Not necessarily.
I'm like, what do I eat?
Not necessarily. You got to be making yourself maybe soups, bone broths, put some veggies in there. When you got so much gut pain, you can't be eating a bunch of salads either. Right. Okay. I don't know you are in any of my classes, but I see many of you are taking my classes, and I recommend you take some of my classes. I have done a boundary course last year. That's really good. I go through different ways that you should be cooking your foods on that course. Okay. And it's like 7 modules, and it's like an insanely cheap price. I don't even understand how I keep doing this. Like Chris is like, how come you charge so little and give so much? I don't know. It just feels right to me. So it's still there up in the course. It's the boundary practice course that I taught. And in that, I go into anti-nutrients issues, that what you're consuming can become anti-nutrients to your body. Okay. And it can dampen your third chakra very much. And you're going to have boundary issues. You're going to start to have very permeable boundaries. That's when you become so sensitive that you say, well, I'm an empath, I'm a highly sensitive person, but I can't even step out, because you become hyper vigilant and hypersensitive. Yeah. That's no good. We can be empaths and sensitive and still go out there and do your job and be the best light that you can be, right? Right. So do those things, join in and do the things that I'm putting out there, okay? Because I do so much more than I even say that what this course is going to cover. I give and give. And that's because I want to elevate together. Let's stop not knocking people down. Let's elevate together, right?
Yes.
Okay. So salads are not your solution.
Okay.
Okay, because salads can be really hard to digest. But
Okay.
cooked vegetables, and I know that, if you grew up in Japan, Takako-san can agree with me, and she was probably not big time, is that like vegetables like spinach in Japan, we never ate spinach raw. Growing up in Japan, we never had salads. I didn't even know what salads were. Okay.
Mhm.
We didn't have, every vegetable was cooked, either boiled or steamed, because it's easier for us to digest. So if you go to even like China, I've visited China. I've spent some time in China. Nobody ate raw vegetables there
Okay. Yeah.
because it's not very easily digestible. But that doesn't mean you can't do that in the summertime. Yeah, I enjoy some fresh, sprouts, and in Japanese we call it kaiware, which is like, it comes from like a daikon radish, sprouts. Those are cooked. Those are not cooked. They're fresh. Okay, but we don't eat them all year, right? Eat them
And
when
how
the
about-
sun is up. Okay.
Okay. How about beans? I eat a lot of beans because I don't do meat.
Well, beans have to be soaked.
Right. Okay. Okay.
They have
yeah.
to be soaked. They can't be the canned beans because they are not soaked. They're, really quickly cooked for the mass productions, right?
Okay.
And do you know what your blood type is?
No.
Okay. You do fine. I mean, you do okay with beans, but longer you shy away from protein, like that you could get full 9 amino acids that comes from animal protein, your body may have a hard time recovering. So you may have to find ways to have egg yolks or whey protein or something that will fit your body.
I
right?
do eat eggs and fish and okay.
Yeah. So beans are tough because it also has a thing called lectin, which is the anti-nutrients again. So if you don't soak them, you're blocking yourself from getting the nutrients over and over and over. Okay. All right. Well, that probably covers a lot of people's questions. Okay.
Yeah, so Masami, I'm going to jump in here and say, yes, you covered a lot of the questions. Some people were still chatting questions, even though today we were just taking them in the hands up in the people that we put in the panelists panel. And I'm sorry, we of course cannot get to everybody. You can see why, because it takes a little time to spend with each one of you so that we can have Masami dig into what's actually at work there. And I just wanted to say that, to reiterate some of the things Masami has said here, it's so easy for us in the world that we live in to design what we eat around ideas about what's good, what we think is good. And a lot of times we do it in spite of how our bodies are feeling when we eat that way, because we've read somewhere or people have told us, you should do this, you should do this. And I'm hearing this a lot in both the panelists that spoke today and also in the chat. So many of you are relying on things like nuts and seeds and lentils and beans for your protein and for your nutrients. But humans rarely throughout history have eaten the kinds of concentrations of these foods that we eat now. They never used to eat them out of season. We eat them all year round. We eat them every day. We eat them in quantities human bodies aren't built to digest. And so a lot of these questions that came up have themes of poor digestion, inflammation, even down to the question that Melanie raised about thirst, which can directly be related to inflammation and stress and the disruptions in blood sugar that some of these poor digestion factors cause in your body when you're eating foods that you're not able to process through your system. So one of the things that we often have to remind people is just be kind, really listen to your body, and then start asking if it could be something that you're doing every day that's impacting your health. So that's all I've got to say. Masami, if you want to close us out today.
Yes. I think a couple things, everyone, as many of you have other questions as well, but do visit our website. I have a lot of videos, YouTube, please sign up for the YouTube. We've been doing how many How many Monday calls have we done so far? We counted 60, 65.
Yeah, we've been doing it for most of the last year and a half. So it's been quite a few.
Yeah, so 60 plus videos on a lot of different topics. And also, if you want to take courses, you can go to masamicovey.com. Under courses, you're going to find different courses. And we started the moon journey last Sunday. So, if you want to join the moon journey, I answer a lot of questions. There's lots of information, but also a lot of practices to join us, because I feel that there's so much out there right now, and you can be doing free things all day long. I mean, I could just be doing free webinars all day long that I show up and watch. But I think these sampling cultures that we have entered into, we're like all line up in the Las Vegas all-you-can-eat buffet. I swear to you, everyone. And we're just sampling through the lines. And, oh, this looks good. That looks good. Oh, wait, what did you have on your plate? Oh, you have that little cake there. Where did you get that from? Oh, did you get that egg omelet from that line? Okay, I'm going to go over there. So everybody's sampling something somewhere all over the place. And I think there's something to be said. I'm of the generation, perhaps, and because grew up in Japan, I tend to stick with a person that I resonate with. And I learn from that person deeply and sincerely. And I respect that person's time and energy and what that person has learned over decades and decades of that person's life. And that's what I do. And, I think you can sample for the rest of your life, and you may find yourself not ever really landing anywhere because there's so many conflicting informations, and you're going to get thrown off. And you feel like you're having a whiplash from these informations that are out there. And at the end of the day, you just feel more confused than ever, more disconnected from who you are, more disoriented, and you can't come home to this body because we're stuck in this seeking, fear of missing out, the FOMO, and, seeker. Well, seekers must find at some point. So let's become finders. Let's find way through this. But if we can do less sampling, I think it'll make a very, very different way of living. And, so find a person. It may not be me or Chris. We may not be your teachers that you follow, but find a person that you resonate with and learn from that person sincerely and show up and connect with that person deeply. Then we will connect with you too. All right. I hope that makes sense. And so once you start doing that, the noise becomes like just a noise outside, and they don't impact you as much. It's too noisy. So noisy right now. We're all just burping up with the sample sessions. All right. So let's just stop the nonsense. Become the finder that you're meant to be. Then you'll find the answer in you, and you'll find the way through this, whatever you're going through. All right. Love you all. And we will do this again at some point, I'm sure. So thank you for showing up, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.